Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Tuesday the 23rd of July 2024 and yeah, Bitcoin's still just not really doing anything, is it? It's been fairly flat for the past couple of days. So yesterday we did have very early in the morning, just after the weekly open, there was an SFP of the previous week high. Now the previous week high was on a Sunday evening, so that's fairly standard. And we've had a bit of a retrace since then, but nothing too significant. So I'd like to go over today, any other targets that we do have really here. But for me with Bitcoin, it is just a case of remaining patient. I am still probably expecting higher. I don't really think there's a need for a big retrace. I do have this 62K zone highlighted on my chart. That I would consider to be a bit of a gift if we are to get it. I'm not really expecting it. I still do think trading the trend is good. The dip that we've had over the past couple of days, especially from altcoins, is starting to look nice. I also believe ETH ETFs start trading today. Maybe. I have to look at that. I know I did see some news about that yesterday. ETH BTC pairs come into a really nice area. I know we're not talking about an Ethereum update. We'll cover Ethereum after this. But yeah, Bitcoin's just been relatively flat. So I'm going to get into the analysis, of course. Before we do that, thank you very much, of course, to our sponsors at Blofin. Who are helping us, very kindly supporting the channel. And there is a new discount that has dropped from them. So with Blofin, you can get some super juicy discounts with the link that is in the description and the one that's shared on the Discord and all of those kind of things. You do get a 20% fee discount. What we also have is this was 10% cashback. They've upped that to 15% for us, which is very kind of them. So if you do deposit on Blofin, you can get up to $7,500 in futures bonus, which is very nice. So that means if you deposit $10,000, you get a $1,500 deposit bonus. And if you deposit 50K, you get a 7,500 futures bonus. So that means that it is a free, free trades. So you keep the profit and yeah, you just get nice free trades out of it. What you do get in addition to that is depending on your trading volume. So what you can do is just trade this futures bonus on like 100x leverage, rack up a load of volume and get even more bonuses from it. So even if you're not profitable, you get even more bonuses from it, which is really good. So yeah, lots of free money over there from Blofin. So do go check out the links that are in the description below if you would like to do so. And we're going to get back into our analysis here. So from the daily time frame, we can see that we've just had a couple of just corrective days, very similar to what we had in the middle of the week last week. Nothing significant, no real drops going on. And it's just correcting and just trading within balance here. And I think as long as it is continuing to do this, then that for me is relatively healthy. We have taken out the Monday lows on a Tuesday. We can see here from these daily candles, we had the weekly open that swept the previous week high. We then open on the Tuesday, we come down, we take out the previous day lows, those Monday lows. So that does give us a target for higher. So everything's still looking pretty healthy here. And as you can see, still holding around this overall range point of control. So if we are looking on the daily, then I think next target for myself is to come up and test these next highs that we have over here, which are around about that $70,000, and also to test the value area high of the range. So 69,900 to 70,000 will be the next area of interest for me if this trend does continue. And there's nothing so far to suggest that the trend won't continue. It's still fairly chill. Our daily open was around about this monthly level. So we are getting towards the end of the month. There will be options expiries coming up later in the week. And then, of course, next week we do flip into August on Friday, Thursday, Friday, one of those days. So this is the last full trading week that we do have. Thursday is the 1st of August. So the last full trading week that we have before a new month. So I think this monthly level is going to be significant, and I could see price just staying around here. Even if there is to be a move up towards that 70k, I would imagine we see some kind of pullback into that monthly level to see basically if we get a situation where we get an engulfing candle. All right, we know that for since March, we've been trading within this range. Okay, everything relatively contained within that March candle. And then we had that previous month open, that June, which started off the downtrend that we've seen lately. It'll be interesting to see if we can get that engulfing candle that can give us some more confidence that this is going to be pushing even higher. Although I'm still very confident that we're going to be pushing higher on these higher time frames anyway. When you look at the weekly here as well, we can see that we're just within this weekly OB. So it is resistance, all right, but it's not causing any major rejection. We're not seeing weakness at this stage. So higher time frames looking good. If we open up anything here and we're looking at like any divergences or anything, I don't even have the RSI on this. Do I not? That is very bizarre. So let's just add the RSI on here. We can see we're not seeing any kind of divergences that are forming here. What you may have is like this, like the hidden bearish divergence with the RSI making the new high without price following. But because we had these bearish divergences up at highs previously, okay, that have played out, I wouldn't be looking at that necessarily as anything too significant here. If we go down onto the 4 hour, we're getting a bit of a bounce. So we can see here, if we just mark on our previous day low, right, clean, okay, very, very clean. Price came down, took out those Monday lows, closed the 4 hour above, and now we're seeing a retrace here. Now there is imbalance up to 67,200 where we have what could form a 4 hour gap. Now we may find that within this 4 hour candle itself, we go and close the this gap immediately, and it no longer is a gap, because that's what we're doing. We're just trading within a local range, very similar to what we did last week. So slow and steady, but still an uptrend. Drop it down onto the 1 hour. Again, a little bit of time spent below there. This was quite nice from a session basis also. I'm just going to drop on onto the 30-minute actually. So if we look at our market sessions, there was your Asia session. So our daily open just above that, that monthly level. I will mark it on here anyway. I didn't want to mark it on there from the higher time frames, but when you go down onto the lower time frames, you can see how you had the spike up. Then you lost the daily open, you trade back into it, not making a new high, giving you reason to believe that you can look for those short positions to go down to take out those previous day lows. And then of course London session opens, you sweep the Asia session lows during London, and then that gives us once again targets higher, and we do have single prints that have formed today. So everything within that also being very, very corrective and kind of nice. Is there anything that we can see dropping it down onto the lower time frames again here? I think the single prints are the big one. We are trading back within those single prints. Okay, so we have acceptance back inside them. You would imagine that would give us a move to see, at the very least, you're either going to tap into them and then reject and continue lower, and that would have been half an hour ago. The fact that we're now seeing that acceptance, that does increase the probability that we are going to trade back through it up towards around about 67,300. So if you're long from either the sweep of the Monday lows or the London sweep of the Asia lows, then I think that's looking like a trade you can hold at least to 67,300 here to fill these single prints. That would also be some quite nice confluence with a local golden pocket, okay, coming into that 702 there, which would fill these single prints on here. So it's a slow one. It's a slow one. I think alts are giving some better opportunities, but we'll see how this bounce goes. Of course, yesterday we were in a similar situation where when I was doing the live stream, we were looking at this area as holding a support, looking for a potential bounce here. That did create this corrective like ABCD. And then we came up without making new highs again, coming back into that weekly open, opportunity to take a short. But once again, yeah, still just trading within this range and everything looking relatively calm here. Is there anything else I can do on this? If we just see where the POC is, we're right at that point of control. We didn't get any acceptance outside of value. And yeah, it's all good. Are we at VWAP? Are we at session VWAP? We've just gone back above session VWAP as well. So we'll see how this bounce goes. I think maybe later on during the stream, we may get some price action. Maybe can look for a short back down here, but yeah, still looking for a bit more of a floaty move up on this. Anything else on trading the view that we can really look at? We had the gap yesterday that did get filled. If we do look at this here, so this was the CME gap from our most recent weekly close, which is here. There was the retrace back into the gap yesterday. You then made a lower high, and then you're coming back down into that. Is that going to act as resistance here? It could do. Okay, that once again does give us that confluence. So it'll be around about our local golden pocket. It will have filled the single prints at that stage. So there is that CME gap that could potentially flip into resistance at 67,300 on the CME chart. But once again, I'm not looking at that as being like a significant rejection. We are still trending. We have this overall trend higher for Bitcoin. And even if we do range here, I do see that trend being more likely than not to continue. Now, dropping it back down onto, let's go over onto look at the order flow. And it's a similar situation. There's not a whole lot going on here. Phone call. Every time I do a stream recently, I get a phone call in the middle of it. It's very strange. Spot selling overnight. We've been seeing a trend of this lately. So we are still seeing that profit taking from spot. You'd like to see that pick up. Okay, because we do have spot CVD all the way back down at the lows that we had from last week before there was this markup. But price is managing to hold. It would be nice to see spot, the bid start to increase and delta start to increase here with spot if we are going to see strength for a move higher. But overall still, yeah, just trading as I guess you could expect. The only slight red flag would be, yeah, here, that we do have spot CVD down quite significantly, showing that it's not managing to catch like that much momentum here. The momentum is kind of slowing with spot, and you would want to see that increase. This move up is kind of hitting those targets that we just spoke about already here, so that's kind of interesting. ETFs and everything, we believe did have another day. Yeah, we did have more inflows again yesterday, so that was kind of nice. So inflows are just continuing, but fairly standard, fairly casual here. Nothing too much to update on there. Now, if I just want to flip over onto XO, because the CVD and the actual like on-chain data and all that kind of stuff isn't telling us very much. Again, similar situation to what we had yesterday. So yesterday we did have that move down that came, and actually I do need to reload this chart. I need to reload that chart because that's a little bit delayed, that data. But we had yesterday the move down into, I'm just going to go back onto this one again, the move down into the previous day point of control. And again, we're just trading within value from our previous days again. Let's just see if this loads up. I really don't want to. It takes so long to load. Takes so long to load. Processing. I have too much data within XO. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's open this back up. And we'll look at this here. So yeah, yesterday had that move down that filled the value area from Sunday. Okay. And then today we're still just trading within value here. If we are to just combine these, I did have a composite open. We're trading within value from the last few days. We do have Paulos on the day. We're testing into a tail from Sunday. and we had an open inside value area. So yeah, we do have value area high marked out here at 67,900. And once again, I think if we are going to see that continuation higher, that is where we have the confluence. There is an MPOC at 69,300, and then that gives us those other levels around about that 69,900. So for me, really, it's just remain patient as so long as price is within this range. And if it does, I think you can still be looking for long positions, take them as scalp, see if they can hold on to it. So there's been a couple of opportunities so far today already with the sweep of the Monday lows, with the London sweep of the Asia lows. See if you can get those and hold those towards those next targets, which is the 69,300 NPOC and 69,900 to 70k range value area high. Anything else? There really is not too much more to say here. So I think I'm probably going to wrap it up. And yeah, it is very much just a case of we're still trading within this little range, and there's not a whole lot that you can really be doing. I think even last week was a little bit nicer than what we're seeing now. Of course, if it does drop, you've got that decent low from Sunday night. And then you've got a big 4-hour gap below. So there are still levels lower that you can be looking at. Then, of course, we do have 62K. If you are to start to lose this trend, once again, I do repeat this on all of the videos, we are in this slightly parabolic trend. It has been broken, this latest one. Okay, so if we look at just the trend line that we have that's just connecting the lows from last week up to here, we have broken that. Is this a bearish backtest? And we can be looking for a more of a corrective move down, potentially. Let's see if this does fill this gap, fill those single prints. Then maybe look for those short positions lower. If there is to be a move down, I think that would provide nice opportunities. I think that's where I'd be looking for those bigger swing trades again. If there is to be a move down that takes out those Sunday lows, comes into this 4-hour gap here, or even rolls over, maybe gets a bounce from there, and then comes down into 62. 62 is where I would start to get interested again. Any loss of 62 I would consider to be a sign of weakness, and then I think you start to work within this range again here. I think that's still unlikely at this stage. So if we come down here, we'll cover it. But at this stage, I'm not saying that's a high probability setup. We still just need to be trading this trend, and the trend right now is that things are moving higher. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. We're going to move on to the altcoins for the rest of this stream. Reminder that I do stream every morning, 10 a.m. UK time. And if you want to join in on the stream, ask any questions, do any of those kind of things, look at the altcoins as well, then please do join the stream. But as for this daily update video, I think that is everything I really have to say. So thank you very much for watching. What I said was likely within this video has more or less played out right now. So we've essentially filled these single prints already. And yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.